try, you can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Yeah. What's on the other side of inhibition? Ooh, I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so cool.
Some days there's no one else who loves me like you used to. Some days I'm not myself, there's no one I can turn to. All the feelings that we shared are in the past. Your relationships are never meant to last.
And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it. You ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's float for now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it.
This has been the story. Kaboom has not been pushed off the turrets until they grab it. And the Nexus turret almost about to go down. Alliance has too much on their plate to consider. That's the fight. The control onto left. They are able to take him down. Danagor. Oh my god! Alliance down.
Welcome everybody. This is Peter, joined by Sheepy here for the Mercedes-Benz ATK League of Legends Champion Series, powered by Elgato and MSI. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday evening. We have an interesting match for you here today in the form of Order of Shadows Synergy versus MLGC Aspect. And yeah, those two teams are respectively 4th and 8th on the Group B, which means that for MLGC Aspect, a win here would be very, very important, as we are getting closer and closer to locking in who is going to be going to the next stage in playoffs and knockout stages.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, we haven't casted either of these sides on the ATK channel yet, so I mean, kind of big expectations. Not entirely too sure who to watch out for in terms of players, as I mean the ranks are kind of similar, so I think this could be possibly a 3-game series. Maybe we finally get to that game number 3.
Yeah, I think the person to watch out for, at least in terms of ranks here, is definitely going to be Caused. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Kaz XD.
Kaz XD. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, but it should be an interesting one. I'm super keen to see, and yeah, I'm really keen to see how the players are doing. We're just gonna have a few minutes to chat before we get into that though, and yeah, I'm really excited. I'm keen to see. I kind of want to see. This is one of the games we haven't seen. One of the teams we haven't seen. We have been seeing Down South Gaming, Tabula Rasa. We've seen the higher up games. We've seen Instinct. We've seen B5. And this group is an interesting one. I honestly think this group is what I consider more of a group of death.
Okay.
Looks like we're gonna go into Champ Select, even though I thought we had a few minutes before doing so. But looks like we're going live.
Okay, so right, let's jump straight into it. No bans yet from the side of Simpnot and Order of the Shadow. I believe MLG on the right side, but the first ban gonna come through with the Rammus. Okay, what's changed? I mean, understandable, I suppose. I don't know how I feel about that though. Like, I think there are higher priority junglers, especially with the picks not really coming through yet. Generally, you want to pick Rammus into your like AD heavy attack based teams. So I mean, first ban, interesting.
Yes, I'm just trying to figure out like what's going on right now. There's a lot of interesting things coming up. I'm hoping to see some priority on the Trinity junglers. We talk about them a lot. The Hecrims, the Udia, as well as the Volibear.
The Morgana
we've been seeing those prioritized all over the place. Again, we're getting a Skarner ban. So it seems like maybe just taking the slightly off meta junglers out of the pool here, followed by the Lulu there.
Yeah, like, I mean, so we're definitely having a jungle-oriented ban coming through from the Order of the Shadow side, so perhaps that's a play to watch out for on the MLG side. I mean, a jungler... I think the game's kind of like a jungle support meta to an extent, but nonetheless, we're looking at the bans so far. Like you mentioned, the Lulu plus Viego. I really like the Viego ban. I think that champion has a tendency to take over the match, take over the game, so the fact that it's not available, I like it.
Agreed, very much agreed. It's great to see the Urgot ban coming out as well. So Snipnot seems to be an Urgot player. He's got about 160 games on it with quite a high win ratio. And yeah, surprised to see him banning it as they are first picking. There goes the Hecarim, which was another pick that Snipnot plays. So I guess Volibear is what I would like to see. Potentially maybe an Orianna pickup would also be really great.
We're seeing a lot of Ori, at least in the local scene, so it's a really, really good blind pick. One of the stronger mid lane picks you can look to try and get in the first rotation. Just to provide... oh, okay, so Seraphine locked in. I like that too.
That is one we haven't seen yet, and I'm very excited too. The pro and the high level teams have always been banning it out, refusing to give it up. And yeah, not even sure where it's going to go, because that is one of the more flexible picks, and I'm excited.
Yeah, it could be mid, could be support, we don't know. So I like the fact that they've gone for the flex. That's a good start, but here comes the Volibear. That was a lot through, prioritizing the Seraphine over Volley. You think that's a worthwhile trade? Or do you feel like they should have had the Volley as the priority over Seraphine?
It's a tough one. Oof, everything is flex here, hey? Volibear could be top lane, Veigar could be middle bot. Yeah, it's gonna... I feel like the Volibear priority is probably slightly higher if you ask me, but luckily there is the Udyr that's still available, so hopefully we see that coming in as the answer, because it tends to go really well against the likes of Volibear. You get the Mordekaiser locked up in the top lane. Interesting. I'm happy. I think Mordekaiser is not a bad champ at all. Pretty good state. I'm hoping... What am I expecting here? Yo!
Right, so Kai'Sa, the AD carry the response, so possibly the bot lane are locked in with Seraphine Kai'Sa. Like you mentioned, that Veigar is a good priority pick in the first rotation, because it can be flexed again between bot lane AP Veigar or mid lane. So we saw exactly that in the ATK series, I believe. Otherwise, Gangplank locked in for the top lane. Orange is there, really, really strong weak side top lane. So definitely a decent lock-in in this case into the likelihood of that Mordekaiser, seeing as we don't really see Mordekaiser anywhere other than top at the moment.
Yeah, so I think the interesting thing is Kaz is the top lane main, and he is an Urgot player, so the Urgot ban there makes a lot of sense. And if he can play Gangplank as well as he can play Urgot, we're going to have a really great game. And he is one of the highest rated players in this game. So we'll be excited to see him playing weak side on that Gangplank. Morgana bans and Thresh bans is the priority has switched away from the jungle now towards the supports.
I like the Morg ban. I feel like that counters a lot that they should have already dropped. So far, Seraphine ulti, Mordekaiser, like Black Shield, just not a good idea. So good takeaway, even though we have had most likely the jungle Volibear locked in, so we won't really see the jungle Morg, but I guess support is another viable option. So following through with the Udyr ban that you were going on about, as well as Tristana, the mid lane, as well as AD carry pick off the table as well. So any predictions? What do you see coming through from either side in this final rotation of picks?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not sure how I feel about this. I think you should have picked up Udyr. Rel coming out, taking away Rel from the opposing side, but we need to see AD mid. So Tristana banned. I'm not sure why we see the Tristana banned on Order of Shadow side, because they really need an AD mid laner. So like, unless because if Seraphine goes mid, it's really bad, because then you have like AP everywhere. We need some AD somewhere. Poppy is looking pretty good. I'm happy to have a tank on that team.
When last did you see a Poppy?
There, well, I asked for AD, and I
got exactly
did
that
receive.
So I mean,
not exactly what I had in mind.
Poppy's pretty good into this comp. It denies the Volibear engage as well as the roll. As for Whether Poppy is that great at the moment, I kind of not too sure. We don't really see Poppy too much. There has been a little bit of lethality Poppy here and there over the last couple of seasons, but nothing in competitive at least. So we have to see what Scorch can do with that Poppy pick. Otherwise, Samira, the go-to duo for the role. So the comp's not locked in. So,
Man, I'm conflicted a little bit here. I don't know about the Samira. I think that's the biggest question mark for me so far. Maybe the Zed as well. There's a lot of like, he needs to make it happen on the Zed
instead of the Zed.
Lucian was up and available.
True.
But again, Lucian isn't the easiest champ to play, and it's not everyone's.
Nor is
comfort
Zed
pick.
though. To be fair.
To be fair, yeah. I don't know, like, and like you get caged as Zed. Oh, shadows can dodge cages. That's nice. I actually had a game where I played against a LeBlanc as Veigar. It's so much fun because she just can't dash through anything, gets absolutely destroyed. Yeah.
Right, so comps have been fully locked in for the first game. Keep in mind this is a best of 3, so for sure we'll be getting to the second game at least. And I mean, looking at the ranks, I feel like these teams are pretty close together, so we should have a close tight series. Not that we've really had many stomps on the cast yet. I think ATK series being one of the most one-sided, but even that was an interesting series, so I'm sure this should be good. Top lane matchup, Mordekaiser versus the Gangplank. The jungle, I believe, Poppy versus Volibear. I feel like Volley perhaps gonna have a little bit more urgency than the Poppy, at least in clear, and Ganks in the early stages. Otherwise, that skill for the mid lane, Veigar versus Zed, and a bot lane, Samira plus Roll versus the Seraphine and Kai'Sa. So, I mean, which way are you seeing this game going? Is this gonna be an Order of the Shadow or an MLG win? Where are we going for the Caster's Curse?
It's so close. I feel like scaling is definitely slightly favoring MLG, especially if the Zed gets behind in the mid lane.
Definitely.
Is this a Poppy jungle actually?
Yeah, that would be the Poppy jungle.
Or it could be a Mord jungle, but that one is
True,
a little bit
actually.
niche.
I think Mordekaiser's jungle is slightly back now. I'm not entirely sure on that one.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of. I think all the AP junglers just moved in. Like they buffed Morgana, and suddenly Diana moved in as well. So did Diana and Morgana. And yeah, I think Mordekaiser just happened to be one of the ones who also just moved in there. Yeah.
100%. Otherwise, we'll be back shortly for the first game of the best of 3. You'll see you guys soon.
Welcome back, everyone, to game number 1 of the series between MLGC Aspect and Order of Shadows. Super excited to be here and to get into this game. I think, if I have to be honest with the GP, right off the bat, I'm going to say the focus of this game is most probably going to be in the top lane. I feel like these two top laners, although Gangplank is a very safe...
Gangplank's weak side, though. You generally want to play for bottom side if you're going to be drafting a Gangplank, and they have Samira and Ross. I'm kind of thinking that's going to be an MLG bot lane set, to be honest. At least that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. So, just nothing crazy happening at the start of this game. We actually just see everyone lining up, making sure to not be the kink in armor, the weakness in the defense, as yeah, we see the recall and we have confirmation that that is Poppy in the jungle. I think there was a little bit of question mark as to if it might have been Mordekaiser, but it does make sense to be the Poppy. Haven't seen too much of that, but I hope it works out as well as it will be. I think the other interesting matchup for me to look out for here is the Zed in the mid lane. I feel like with that Ignite, I'm hoping to see potentially some early blood.
Okay, so I'm just looking at the Poppy Volibear interaction, right? So, I mean, Volibear's ultimate, he's unstoppable, so I'm pretty sure you can't actually block that. So it's gonna be just for the roll then. That's kind of interesting. So yeah, perhaps not as good of a pick as we thought it would be. But that's
also
pretty on the
Samira
yeah.
Is, yeah. But not going to be too powerful. Top lane, getting some trading out there. I think this bot lane, all these lanes are actually very, very nervous lanes. I feel like it could go either way. Whew. As we see some priority in the top lane there for the Gangplank.
Right, so nothing too, I guess, active happening so far. We're 2 minutes in, and it's pretty much just standard trades, standard farms. I'd like to see what exactly happens bot lane, because I feel like this is definitely MLG bot lane favor. If they can get some form of pick onto Sly or Flo, they can quite easily look for a kill. Speaking of which, there it is, the engage attempt. Unfortunately, not going to really find anybody with the initial, so they do get punished pretty hard. You only have so many attempts before you get chunked down, so you've got to make sure you're able to get that CC done and win the lane in the early stages before you get poked out. Top lane.
Yeah. Oh, level 3 gank. What is Poppy? Not gonna be too much. Just giving Mordekaiser some breathing room to pick up that TS. Oh no.
In the jungle. Lightning from above. Scorch first a flash, but Volley is on his tail. It's gonna come through for the nom nom. The chomp is there. It's gonna be the first blood. But topside is Simpnot and Kaz. We're gonna try and fight this one out as well.
But he knows Volibear is there, so he probably shouldn't be committing to this, as he does decide to pull off a little bit. Play safer, and try not get caught.
Yeah.
The pink Z classic.
That was kind of a greedy one. Realistically, that gank not gonna work out versus Gangplank. Perhaps probably just looking to try and burn a flash, but as a result, he gets punished. As Volley is there in time for the counter, or at least the punish on that attempt.
And now you can see Poppy is getting really far behind, and it's just the power of these really high tier picks in the jungle right now.
He's getting double scuttled as well. That is not fun.
Double scuttled, exactly. Yeah, you don't want to see that happen. But it's the reality of playing a slightly off meter. Ooh, okay. Barely dodges out of that flow, playing really well.
But they're in a safe spot.
Oh my! Did you just see that Samira W?
No.
That just blocked every single thing that Seraphine threw.
That was an interactive champion. What are your thoughts on the phase rush on Poppy? You think that's the go-to?
It's like it's a thing in the jungle right now. Almost everyone's building phase rush. Even champions that I'm not too sure should be. So I guess there's some method to the madness. Yeah, I mean, I think, imagine a tank going fast. It's never fun.
Gotta go fast.
Just get running down by a full tank Poppy that one-shots you. Sucks to be an ADC in this world.
It's gonna be Drake Mountain that is first on the map. We'll see what the other side makes a play for it. I highly doubt we get a Poppy attempt at it. a dragon take, so if anything, perhaps Zen is then for MLGC. But let's look at the top lane. I mean, we can see that CS lead is starting to show pretty hard. Gangplank doing a really good job of just starting to build up a lead, despite, I mean, the matchup.
Yeah, the only other thing that's a little weird for me is Conqueror. I feel like you could get a kill on this Veigar if you have the extra perk that you get from Electrocute, but yeah, nothing too crazy happening here.
Yeah, that's the thing where you also need to try and snowball mid lane with the Z pick, because you're playing into Veigar. Veigar scales, so if you let him get a free laning phase, if you go even, that's going to be really good for MLG.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping to see some... Oh, Volibear looking for a gank here.
A bit of a bonk.
No,
Kaz.
not.
Some.
No.
I know.
Oh.
Mordekaiser still level 5, means that Kaz has a slight advantage, but Poppy here finally leaving the opportunity as mid lane. We do have an attempt. Beautiful baby cage does come through, as the pop should be there. It's going to be the solo mid lane kill. Tycene finds himself kill number 1, and the snowball starting.
Yeah, and even with Inspector landing the great W there, it didn't matter. Just the level 6 damage on the Z is there, as we do get a nice freeze here on the bot lane, which is definitely going to benefit Swifty and Original SK. And I think top went relatively well. I think not dying there, no one dying there is positive, especially considering Mordekaiser was not level 6 just yet.
Right, so Poppy topside. Does she finally get the scuttle?
She does.
Oh, but she's trading over the dragon for it, so I mean, MLG now attempted a bit of a sneak as Tycene makes his way through. Not gonna actually spot them out, as he does just look for the clear using his sweeper. Samir not entirely happy about stepping into the pit, as she's a little bit scared. On the left slide, finding the vision, attempted a cheeky steal, but not gonna work out, unfortunately. So first dragon, MLGC.
That's exactly what you see, especially on the side of the team who has a lot of scaling tools in their hands. I do want to see another gank attempt by this Poppy, but I feel like she's just trying to keep up with the farming that this Volibear has been clearing.
What is Order of the Shadows win condition in this, with this comp? Trying to, like, I mean, like MLG has weak side, top side. They've got a scaling mid lane. They've got like a pretty urgent, pretty strong bot lane. So I assume they look to try to play through bottom, get them ahead, and then naturally top and mid sort of scaling, playing a bit more of a weaker side. With Order of the Shadow, it feels a little bit more interesting. Mid lane for sure. The Z has that potential to snowball. You saw him get that first kill, or solo 1v1 as soon as he hit 6. So hopefully we do see, for the sake of Order of the Shadow, getting Tycene a little bit further ahead so we can just try to snowball the game. Otherwise, it's looking like a Seraphine scale.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking about. Seraphine is really great into the later stages of the game. And yeah, I think I was expecting a bit more action in the bot lane, but we haven't gotten that.
Oh.
Talking about action.
Is that the engage?
Original SK looking for an engage there. Ooh, does find Seraphine.
Very nice. They find them, what, the 2v2, I guess, or 2v1?
Yeah, I shouldn't even have a chance to use exhaust there.
That's why you need the Guardian. We mentioned it in Champs like that. This matchup is really rough for the Seraphine, so you're playing against a double bot lane that just wants to engage, and you're squishy, so if you get caught out not having that Guardian, you're going to be in a lot of trouble, and that's exactly what happened. They're not given the opportunity to react with Flash, or even Exhaust. As top lane, we do have Kaz taking himself out of the Shadow Realm, making it actually, I don't know if that was the correct play. He's made it a 2v1. I think he was better off trying to take the 1v1.
Agreed. Yeah, I think as we do have a DC.
Let's take a look at that again. So we have Slipknot grab and Kaz says no. You probably just didn't see the Poppy, I guess. A little bit of an interesting one. No real room for outplay. So unfortunately does pay the price for that top lane. As unfortunately I believe Volley Zentaro having a bit of net issues. So the DC. So unfortunately do have our first pause of the evening. Currently, state of the game 2-2, gold-wise, pretty even. MLG definitely ahead though, picking up that first Martin Drake. And I'm interested to see whether Zed is able to try Snowball. He started to pick up a little bit of a CS lead. We have Vega working his way towards that Zonya's item. Unfortunately, not able to get Stopwatch yet. What are your thoughts on not taking Stopwatch as a run into the Zed matchup for Vega?
Yeah, wait, no. Inspector, you mean?
Yeah, Inspector, Vega. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, the Mordekaiser. Okay, yeah. No, I think Inspector
did I
probably
say
should have
Mordekaiser?
had that. I mean, he is building the Seeker's Arm Guard, but yeah, what is his secondary entry? Not even sure. Yeah, but I definitely think that an Hourglass makes a big difference, especially if you get ultied in one of the earlier stages of the game. You're going to be happy. But we're going to head over to the caster's desk and just chat to you guys a little bit as we keep you updated.
Right, so I mean, we're 9 minutes in, game's not really made too much progress in terms of overall comps. I think we sided with red side, if I'm not mistaken, on the win. MLG.
Yes, I believe so. And gold slightly favoring them, about 1,000 gold favoring to MLG right now. Although we do have a kill on the top side, Mordekaiser on the opposing side. I think it's looking relatively good. I think it's a matter of can the puppy stay in the game and not get too far out jungled or too far behind to the likes of Volibear, which is really good at clearing the jungle in this current meta.
Especially with
and
that
then
double
the Volibear
start. Like, you've
I mean, not the Volibear. Yeah, the Zed. We really need to see the Zed. It's a great pick. It was one of the last picks we saw, but it has to shine. Otherwise, it's gonna be a definite problem for their side.
But nonetheless, unfortunately, we do have that DC, so we will be back shortly with the resume. Hopefully, we do have the issue fixed shortly. And we're back. I'm back at it again on the Summoner's Rift. Myself, Sheepy, as well as anti-tankers here for your cast. Order the Shadow.
Yeah.
Versus MLG.
MLG Aspect. Very excited to be here once again, as we do get a pretty quick pause, and that's always nice to see. Yeah, I kind of want to like just look at things right now. We do see that original SK once again going to be freezing that wave. And no reply from the side of Order of Shadows.
No. Alright, so I believe we're in week 6, going on week 7 of the 9-week event. Is that the right word for the event? Tournament?
Yeah, well, 9-week group stages, we could say as well.
Group stages, that's a good one.
Yeah, and it's currently looking pretty close. I think we had a lot more competition than we expected to have, and that's great to see everyone stepping up and showing up in this tournament, wanting to win this competition. Definitely.
I mean, I've been saying it for oh, hang on, bot lane Volibear. We do have the engage coming through the chain CC, but the Seraphine, no, denied. Swifty, the click of a key, and the ultimate entirely disabled as Poppy is here for some vengeance. Just able to keep Flowbot alive as the blue side TP does look to try and join in for the fight, but unfortunately, it's not really. They're gonna find anything much yet. No ult means he will not be able to take someone to the void, but Simpnot just may actually go down himself. Poppy doing the best that he can, but unfortunately looks like Zen finding himself kill number 2. The volley bear is online as original versus Scorch, but it's going to be Inspector for the baby cage attempt, but finds nothing but minions. And MLG finding themselves the double.
That was just Order of Shadows straight up losing a 4v5 at the end of the day, although Kaiser was dead before the fight started. How do you survive that?
You don't. Well, Kaiser survived though. She didn't die.
No, Kaiser died.
No, she didn't.
No,
She
wait,
did her death.
Kaiser didn't die. How did Kaiser not die?
Poppy.
She probably
Poppy
flashed
popped
out
the
of
ult.
that. Oh,
Sent
huh.
volley back to the fountain. Or at least try to.
Oh, right. I completely missed that. Yeah. Wow. But again, we can see the power of this volley bay pick. It just allows so much dive potential, which combos really well with the likes of Rel and Samira. And yeah, I just feel like it's so strong, and there's just, it's literally got 2 kills versus 2 deaths to the puppy right now.
I kind of feel like volley is the Seraphine of the jungle. Not in kits, but in nature. It feels like it doesn't matter who plays the champion, as long as you have it on your team, you will do like so much better than if you didn't. That makes any sense.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just
Like,
it's
too
the
strong not to
Oriana
have.
of the jungles. It's the same thing.
But Oriana's more like, it's an incredibly safe and a good pick in the matchup. It looks like, speaking of a good pick, Sly gonna be caught off as the red side TP does come through. Looking to try to join the fight. It's gonna be Inspector yet again, but it seems like MLG able to trade over 1-for-1 jungle for support. So it's actually gonna be Order the Shadow winning that trade, in my opinion, with the Drake now slowed down. At least I don't think they're gonna really look to push for it, seeing as Poppy not exactly the aggressive Drake takers, but the baby cage middle lane, okay. Inspector.
Clearing out some pinks. It looks like we're gonna go back to farming, and yeah, I think
Swifty's got
that
his
actually went
mythic.
really well for Order of the Shadow.
Swifty has his
Yeah.
mythic. We've got the Zhonya's in the middle lane, as well as first items now starting to come through, at least for the MLG side. So the action should start picking up just like in the next few moments, because we have a lot more utility, a lot more tools available as Sliders winning the brush, looking to try and find a pick. But I mean, realistically, you cannot engage. This is not a fun matchup for Samira. I mean, sorry, for Seraphine, for exactly that reason right there. She has a one-click dodge and basically just denies your entire kit. Meanwhile, top lane, Simp not do the best he can. Does bring the shield as Kaz. The mallet is there into the flash order. He finds that solo 1v1. The man's got confidence. I respect it.
Absolutely beautifully played from Simp there. And even with Simp getting that
Poppy.
pick, though, it seems like we do have the dragon here. Poppy
Ooh.
saying no, not hitting the ulti though.
Can Samira
50-50?
block Poppy ult? She can, right?
Probably.
Okay.
It looks like a projectile.
Lobot finally does die. He survived the previous time, but the skin of his teeth this time not so lucky, as we do have the dragon still continued and actually secured, as MLG looking pretty good, still trying to re-engage the fight after finding themselves the double onto ADC. So now 3 for 0 for 3. Swifty looking kind of good.
Oh, this bot lane is not having a good time, and that Ral is just big. It just feels really, really hard to deal with, and actually gonna go
The
straight
Magnus
topside and
Storm's
after
coming
getting that.
quite through.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a second dragon now picked up. MLG looking good in terms of objectives. You mentioned earlier how they want to try and scale the game. They want to pick up these 3 objectives, as Kaz just able to find himself the top tier 1 turret, surprisingly. He died solo. How did he end up getting the free turret? Just did something not rotate?
Yeah. I mean, he's rotated twice now. He tends to. Actually, he also TP bot lane earlier in that fight that went really badly, where the Poppy ended up getting caught and died. And I think that's kind of where that extra damage on the tower came from.
Okay, so first brick now secured. MLG in a good spot in terms of gold. 3k ahead at 15 minutes in.
It really seems to be mostly happening in this bot lane. As we do see Tyson hammering away at this Mushroom Veigar, trying to get him lower. Rel heading in for... looking for something in the bot lane. Sly looking for an ulti here. Nope, no, an ulti. I would be...
Oh, Poppy the pin's gonna be there. Samira on to get spots. The pop-up looking for the damage. Luckily enough, actually finding that charm as Swifty knocking around away as the Magnet Storm comes through. Plus the Panda. It is Zen finding that first kill on the Sly as Swifty able to go down. The shutdowns there for Simp not in the top to bot lane rotation. Mallet via Lightning pause, but the pin yet again. Gangplank is joining as well, but unfortunately not really going to see much coming through from that. So big rotations with very little coming through from it.
Zed still has ulti.
So Riftail Shelly now joining for the sieges. They do push for that second turret. It's going to be the first tier turret in the bot lane at least, but Gangplank looking to try and create some pressure, cancel some backs before he makes his way towards mid side. So I like the fact that Swifty's going top here. Gangplank picks up the mid lane. Veigar potentially shoving out bottom into going back to that lane. So nobody really missing too much in terms of waves, I hope.
I haven't seen Zed in so long that I don't even know what the itemization is on this champ. Prowler's Claw.
That seems kind of weird.
Probably really good. I mean, surely it can be really good because you can dash through people. And it gives quite a lot of lethality as well. So
Versus
I think it gives like the most in the game.
What's that? I don't know.
The other one is Duskblade.
Duskblade, yeah. Is Duskblade just not in a good spot?
I mean, I think it's great. I feel like Zed doesn't want to disappear after he kills someone. He'd rather have more damage to kill someone. Because he can just get out again. He doesn't need to disappear. Yeah. So he's happy to take a shadow out there instead of disappearing into the shadows.
I am the shadow. Alright, so Drake made it out for the third. It's going to be the Cloud in this case. Bit of a jungle support roam. Bardo 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised to see how well this Mordekaiser is doing.
Yeah.
Although it is weaker side Gangplank. So maybe expect to see some great barrels in the future. As we do get some vision cleared out here.
Now has the second item as well, so he's going to do some damage. He's got the Essence Reaver secured, so pretty big power spike.
Yeah. Although the gold is only like 2,000 different, 4,000, it feels like a lot more.
That's kind of interesting.
Oh no.
That's kind of interesting.
Ulti?
So the baby cage negated thanks to the Shadow Realm. We're just able to walk straight through it. Placing it a little bit too early, unfortunately.
Same thing with barrels as well. Barrels just disappear. Mushrooms. It's actually a pretty strong use case for that ulti. Just ignoring it.
Alright, so Dragon objective, bit of a dance, bit of a contest coming through as we do have Zen looking for the 1v3. I don't know if Original wants to join. There it is, the Magnet Storm, big CC chain. As Red Side TP looking to yet again try to join this fight as we have already dropped two members, one from either side. Make that the double actually, as Swifty finds himself his next kill. It's going to be kill number 4. That is one fed Samira.
Yeah, definitely the Samira just doing so much damage there. Even having the armor penetration, really nice to see. I mean, yeah, just kind of feels like a slight misplay there. I don't know. I just feel like the Zed was not on the same page. Did he get a kill? I think he killed. No, he didn't kill Volume.
He was already on 2. He didn't get anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just feel like there was a bit of like a split fight there, and you kind of need the Zed, I would say, on the Samira and hoping to kill her. But although the Samira does have plated steel caps as well as immortal shield bow, which means between that shield and that extra armor, it might be slightly harder to kill than the normal ADC you would see.
Okay, so I mean, there's been a lot of fighting, a lot of action, but very little sieging. It feels like the game progress is actually pretty decent in terms of the scaling. MLG not really too urgently trying to push through an end because they've got their win conditions still. Just play it slow, scale up, let Vega come online, let Gangplank come online. And in this case, I mean, this is perfect scenario. They have all the kills and gold sitting on that bot lane, the Samira and Raul.
Yeah,
really
so much
good for
character
MLG.
potential on that Raul. And yeah, we've seen some pretty good engages. I'd like to see even more of those coming out. And this combo just feels really strong, to be honest. I think I'm so used to seeing the Kaiser Raul that I haven't had quite as much experience with this, but it makes a lot of sense. CC goes really well with Samira.
If not the Seraphine, what would you like to have seen bot lane for the Order of the Shadow comp? But Baron, however, started up as Mordekaiser trying to work his way through. He's alone and afraid as Poppy and Zed are still making their way through. Sending them back to the fountain, actually. He's left behind 2 members. Swifty, the new focus, Zed. As some interesting decision to take him to the Shadow Realm. Why he's intentionally making it a 1v1 when they do have the numbers advantage, but it does work out nonetheless. Perhaps just concerned that he does flash away as Realm creates a lot of pressure. Zed finally finding himself that first death, but it's going to be for 4 members. The Quadra Simpanok going so massive with the Mordekaiser, as unfortunately Original is not able to get his way out of this one.
It looks like they want to give the Penta, but they're not going to be able to give. Oh, he does! Penta kill coming out.
The Baron as well.
Yeah, that'll surely be the Baron also going over to the side of Order of Shadow. Man,
is that the
well
first
played.
Penta? I think we had a Penta already, if I'm not mistaken. Slaxel?
I was an ADC. The previous one, I'm pretty sure, was an ADC. But I don't recall exact details.
We darted the Simpanok Mordekaiser and he's saying, guys, watch out, I'm 9-1, I will carry this game, just get on my back, get on my shoulders, I am Mordekaiser, numero uno,
Yeah, good champ, to be honest. It's like, at this point, Mordekaiser's online, and you need to be like, you have to have so much value with this Gangplank to be out competing him, and it's just not there. I think the biggest threat to the Mordekaiser is this Vega, because of the more AP you have, the more damage you take from that ultimate. But other than that, I think he's pretty happy.
I mean, Kaz has been playing pretty well up to this point, but just cannot seem to keep up with the mod in these team fights, at least. So we'll see what happens. I mean, by no means is this MLG out of the game. If anything, this is just making the game even closer, more of a back and forth. So it's gonna come down to, can Swifty position correctly? Like, it's Samira. Samira is not easy in these late game team fights. She's very short range. So you need to know when you can and cannot go. In this case, it looks like the go button has been pulled as the Unstoppable into that tower turn off. Swifty finding the slide kill, as unfortunately not really going to work out for the Order of the Shadow side, but it will be a kill had, or 2 kills actually, both bot lane members dead. Order of the Shadow.
Yeah, Order of the Shadow, just this pro bot lane is getting bullied. 0-2 and 0-6 just not having a great time. This combo between the Raul, the potential dive from the volley, it's too much to handle.
What can you do versus that comp though? Like, it's like you said, incredibly hard to handle it. So if Raul has flash, you're in trouble.
Yeah, so the answer to that problem is vision. If you have vision, you're gonna have a good time.
That is damage.
So much damage. Can they 1v4 him? He has ulti, doesn't he? Yeah, he has ulti. This is an interesting choice. 6
seconds on the dragon. Something to keep in mind. So it is MLG looking to try and get this pick before they do have the dragon fight, because if they can kill Mordekaiser now, that is a lot of
and then
damage. Simpnot, Red Side TV looking to try and make it a 5v1. As Simpnot just not able to find the damage, but the floating bear. Sure.
I think he made a mistake on the ult target there. He must have ulted. He must have ulted the GP, because whoever he ulted came right out of it.
Yeah, that would be the Gangplank. Oranges. I'm surprised. I think the one he wants to ult would be Swifty, perhaps.
Honestly, anyone but the GP, just so you can get the 1v1 and then hopefully have a 1v3 afterwards.
Oh, still
that would be great.
Red team secure. That will be the sole null for MLG as the fight does continue. Unfortunately, no flash available for Poppy, means that she will be stuck in the pit. So just trying to get away, but does not have the moves. The Jagger is not there. So unfortunately, it's going to be yet another kill as they do rotate through into that mid lane siege. Unfortunately, however, Baron not available. Means they won't be able to pick up that objective, but the mid lane inhibitor in sight.
Yeah, and again, this bot lane needs to be so careful because Shalai, the tower is in a safe place. There's a Volibear that has an ulti that can turn off towers, and you're so squishy that you die before you can even CC people.
Okay, so they get the tier 2.
But
They respect the fact that Mordekaiser is back alive,
Mord
so
is
let's
alive.
not throw it.
exactly.
Like, MLG for sure can still lose this game if they don't play it correctly. So slow and steady wins the race and gets the base. Don't force it.
I honestly feel like, what has Zed been doing? Like, have you seen Zed in the last few fights? I feel like he hasn't been around.
He was 2 for 0 about 10 minutes ago, so I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
What should he be doing?
I
in these
definitely.
fights, though?
That's the problem. It's like who you. I don't think he can one shot the gangplank.
Force the Zanyas out of Vega. Probably your best bet. Otherwise, deleting Samira is probably going to be the main priority.
Yeah, but she's got so much like control against that.
And Mythic as well makes it a little bit difficult.
Yeah, the Immortal Shield Bow just brings so much shield. It's 522
Okay.
shield at the moment. That's like 3 Qs worth of damage, and obviously the life steal coming in as well. Not to mention the plated steel caps, so even autos don't hurt that much.
Alright, so Baron, minute 10. We can see how red side MLG just looking to try to secure some vision top side and try to force Order of the Shadow into some tricky situations where they can't be. And I think Seraphine's the main player to watch out for because she's the squishy one. She's the one that's been getting caught off by the roll on repeat, currently sitting at 6 deaths, unfortunately. So, I mean, as long as Symphnot is close by, you should be pretty safe. But in this case, he's not bot lane. He has TP, however. We should start to see MLG setting up the Nash, as we do have exactly that Sly caught off, but just able to get away. So, a little bit of a risky one. You've got to respect it. If you die now, Seraphine, that is Baron gone. That is potentially inhib. And that leads to the snowball train continuing.
Yeah, and again, I mentioned it. What we want to see by Order of the Shadow is vision. You need vision to be able to not get caught off and not be surprised.
Oh, wave flip.
But such a good job by MLGC to deny that.
I don't like the fact that Poppy is bottom.
Yeah, there's a Baron up pretty much like in 9
And they're just going to
seconds.
shove it through mid, it seems, because, I mean, that's 2 members bottom. They cannot defend versus the likes of that roll engage.
Are we going to get a Poppy ult? I'm feeling one. I'm feeling like a Poppy ult and then like a 3v5 or something.
Seraphine
Denied.
not getting the encore.
Yeah. That happens. I'm not having the greatest game in this first game of the series. The gold has gone completely even, probably off of the back of that pentakill that Sipnot picked up earlier.
I really do not want to see Order of the Shadow starting up this Baron. Like, they're looking for a death pressure. Realistically, MLG do not have to walk in here and check this, but here comes the Poppy for the pick. Round on a good spot. It's actually going to be the wrong support, but hang on, am I the Predator, the prey with that 5-man Magnet Storm? But unfortunately, just no follow through. His original just able to survive with the skin of his teeth. No, Kaiser, the killer instinct, looks for the damage, but he's going to be killed off instead. Swifty goes massive, but it looks like Zed is trying to do the much as he can in the backline as the Flash Ultimate Inspector. Not yet having the damage, the triple is there. Swifty has the damage, and that's going to be the Quadra. No Penta, unfortunately. That belongs to only Symphnot.
Oh man, I feel so bad for that Kaiser. That Kaiser's like, sorry team, I just cost us the game.
That is a Red Raven
Hate to see
special.
it.
That is the Kaiser ult into your entire team and die.
True, so true. And yeah, that's not how I expected this game to go. But what a surprise! Both teams showing up here.
Yeah, GG, well played. First game done and dusted for MLG. GG, well played. Okay, so I mean,
What a game!
we were told to watch out for the Mordekaiser, and that's exactly what we did. Mordekaiser, unfortunately, just not able to carry in the first game, but I highly doubt we get that for the second draft. I feel like Mordekaiser are going to be kind of off the table, as well as perhaps the Volibear needs a little bit more urgency, allowing that pick through a little bit risky.
Agreed. But we should be running into post game in just a second, just to have a look at some of those stats if we have it ready. In the meantime, yeah, I just feel like across the board, players showing up in this game and feeling very, very close. Just MLGC, I honestly just feel like it was slightly better meta game from them. We were seeing better rotations and definitely better vision coming out on their side. That was making the big, big difference.
Right, so we'll take a look at those post-game stats quickly. But I mean, overall, what are you thinking for MVP? Is this gonna be a Samira carry?
Yeah.
Right, so Samira ending off with the 10 for 2. Came very close to dying in that last team fight, but unfortunately Zed just not having the damage. Means that he was able to pick up the quadra, so good job to him. Swifty, showing us that he's very comfortable, but honorable mention to Original. I mean, he played really, really well in that role to allow for Swifty to get to the point where he is able to carry.
Yeah, and just like the beautiful magnet storms, like he's getting caught, but that's the wrong person to be getting caught. And wow, Mordekaiser could not carry any harder than that. It's just like, guys, I need some support, please.
I mean, looking at the damage charts, we could just see how much damage Mordekaiser did, as well as the GP and Samira. So, I mean, well played to Mord. Simp not.
Wow.
But nonetheless, we're going to be jumping into the second game of the series, the best of 3, still comebackable. If Order of the Shadow are able to find themselves the second game victory, pick themselves up, we'll be going through to the final match. Otherwise, MLG looking to close out the series with the next win. But nonetheless, guys, we'll be back shortly for game number 2.
always be there. The last thing you said. Sorry if it's too late. All alive. The devil's in the detail, lingered inside. Oh, a holy crime. But how can I hide you without an alibi? It's a rebel's fight without an alibi. Took my
Welcome back to game number 2, the Mercedes-Benz ATK League of Legends Champion Series, powered by Elgato and MSI. Thank you for joining us. If you missed game 1, here's a short recap. We had a pentakill out of the Mordekaiser
And a
in
quadra,
the
actually.
top lane, and then a quadra followed by Samira. So really close game. It was looking really good, and at the end of the day, it just felt like better map decisions and vision coming out, and just Seraphine not having a good time in that game number 1 on
It's
the side of Order
understandable,
of
though.
Shadows.
Not an easy matchup.
Yeah,
Seraphine definitely going to get dominated versus Roll. So you've got to be very careful, especially if you do first pick that Seraphine, because it's not as OP broken as it has been in the past. But nonetheless, I mean, were there any picks that you feel like are going to get taken away in second ban phase? Or second game's ban phase, rather? I feel like that Mord is out of here.
And Volley as well.
Yep.
Definitely going to be reevaluated. I think like the Zed wasn't quite what they wanted to see. Like I think you needed to kill that Samara before she gets a quadra on the Zed. Otherwise, the Zed pick feels less useful than it should be. But we're going to jump into Champ Select in just a second and see what happens. So let's have a look. Ban's not changing too much just yet, as we do have the Viego ban coming out. And yeah, that is going to be the first ban,
Right,
followed
so
by the Rammus.
do they have a Rammus player? I feel like they have to at this point, because that Rammus has been banned 2 games in a row in the first ban phase.
Very valuable.
Okay.
Lulu, again, doesn't seem like we're getting any changes in the bans, at least not yet. Potentially, maybe this last ban going to be Mordekaiser, maybe picking up the Mordekaiser themselves instead is what MLG may be thinking.
Got taken out of you.
I think it's too strong, to be honest. Like, what actually wins top against Urgot?
I feel like I
No idea.
I googled it, or I asked someone the other day. I'm trying to recall what was said. There are a
I want to
couple
say
of
it's
picks
like
that are pretty
Kale,
good.
maybe? Probably
Kale,
not. Probably not
you
Kale.
just don't see Kale. I feel like Urgot's like a lot more
No.
common. Yeah, no, it could be pretty good. Keep your distance, keep your range. He likes to play into melee matchups, so. Morgana, banned away. Final ban. So we do have a couple of priority picks still available. The volley is there. Otherwise, Hecarim, which we do not have locked in for MLG. So they're prioritizing the jungle pick again. Let's see what all of the shadows respond with.
Hecarim was banned in the previous game, so this does leave an opportunity for the Volibear pickup by the opposing side, and Volibear and Hecarim tend to go relatively even, although Udyr is slightly faster with a clear than the Volibear is. But I guess we'll see. Are we going to get a Alistar? I'm just curious to see if they're also locking the ADC here, because that would probably be the plan. Haven't seen Alistar in a while, to be honest. Oh no, we
He's in a
did
good
see,
spot.
I think,
Face Rush Alistar.
we saw, I think, Unique. I think we saw Unique on Alistar
Yeah.
with the Orianna, and it was a disgusting combo. Looked so good.
The
Wow.
Mukau, the Mooble. Tristana locked in.
Tristana,
So
also
Tristana Alistar,
banned.
really good combination, but like we mentioned before, it can be put in mid lane, so a really nice flex pick. Tristana, I believe, banned away in the second rotation of that first game, so left through, not going to let it risk and let it make through to be banned. But it seems like the Samira is the go-to for MLG yet again. Swifty says, I popped off in the first game, let me have it again. Real question though,
Run it
what do you pair with it? Because Roll's available, but like picking the Roll into the Alistar is an interesting one.
Yeah, I think it feels bad when you about to make that engaging and just get
Bonked.
head butted out of there.
Can
Gonna be the
you-
Rel though.
Can you break Alistair's headbutt with the roll stun, like her E?
I don't know. It's possible that the headbutt will still happen and then it'll be stunned afterwards.
I feel like that's an interaction that, like, I feel like it's gonna be a roll favorite. I'm not entirely sure. Might need to test that. I haven't really played too much roll Alistair.
Ooh, someone mentioned Ivan not too long ago. Interesting. Apparently this can also not necessarily jungle, but probably jungle, which means they are kind of giving away that they're looking for an AP top laner if this is Ivan in the jungle, because unless Tristana's bot lane, which is, it's a mess. Everything is flexible again, except for the MLG side, which is kind of relatively readable. We know what's happening.
I mean,
on that
yeah,
side.
I don't think we're gonna see anything too spicy of those first 3 picks. Those are pretty stock standard. Unless you got the Tug of Bear Claw top lane, Hecarim would hardly doubt that. So it seems like Yasuo are the go-to ban for the second phase for MLG, at least versus the Gangplank. No Mordekaiser, no signs on the Mordekaiser because it was banned away. So the GP ban, more just looking to try and eliminate any top side, like weak side picks that they could draft.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Yasuo ban because they need AP, not AD. So like, why would you pick Yasuo in that if you're on Order of the Shadow if you don't have AP right now?
So what is actually gonna block? They don't really have anything drafted that's blockable for Yasuo, so far at least. But I mean, I'm kind of intrigued to see what we do get for the picks, because there's a lot of different ways you can go with these comps in terms of final picks, but it's gonna be the Ornn taken out as well. Same with the Vlad.
Guys, that definitely very top focus with these last sets of bans. Last time it was very support focused, but the supports were showed earlier on here. And let's see what we get picked here by Order of the Shadows.
Oh, was that a Darius?
I'm not hating it. I mean, you want to carry harder than you can on Mordekaiser? Darius can do that.
With blind though?
Yeah,
risky.
that's a good point. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, we've even seen it in pro play. I don't think it has that many bad matchups. That's probably what they try to ban out there: the Urgot, the Gangplank, and the Vladimir. Nah was something I wanted to mention. It's not. I think it's still. I don't think it's hard winning for Nah though.
I feel like if he has his positioning down, it should be pretty good, but we'll have to see. Comes down to, does he have the hands? Does he have the moves? Does he have the swagger?
Okay, so we do have last pick, which has been saved for.
Okay. Zoe.
Just on a bot lane. Zoe mid. Ivan jungle. Okay. At least it makes sense now.
I'm kind of liking the MLG comp again. I feel like it's a little bit more rounded. I like the Victor lock-in. It gives the AP that the team is missing, plus the scale is there as well. I'd like to see MLG playing through bot lane again, but at this point,
Is this poor Zoe? Is that Alistair mid lane? Tyson was the Alistair play last time.
Sly is a Zoe
surely
player.
they just
It could be lane
well,
swaps. It could not necessarily like role swaps. I know Sly likes to play Zoe. He played Seraphine last game, but it seems like Tyson currently sitting on the Alistair, like you mentioned. So I still think it's going to be Tristana, Alistair bot lane, and mid lane Zoe. But we'll see.
Yeah, maybe just Sly being like, I need a break, guys. Please take me out of this misery that was the Samira Rel bot lane. Zoe into Victor. I don't know how that one swings. I think like if this Zoe pops off, it's fun to see. It is an absolute banger to cast Zoes because they tend to just go crazy.
What are your thoughts on a Teemo top lane versus the Darius matchup?
I'm not a fan. I think like there's a very small margin for error. Like if you make a mistake and you get E'd, you're probably dead because you're not very tanky at all. I'm a much better fan of something like Wukong, like we've seen before. What else would our players do? I think Fiora probably has an opportunity as well, but I don't know if That one might be very coin flippy, to be
Yeah, that
honest.
could be more of a a skill matchup, but as well, the Fiora kind of tricky on up ping. I think we've only got like 1 or 2 Fiora plays in the SES scene. So,
Yeah.
but I
don't think we have a lot of. It's probably too complicated to play, to be honest. And the Fioras.
I miss old Fiora, where you could stack Bloodthirsters, click aura, and suddenly you've got all your health back. Those are the good times. But I mean,
That champ was.
Simpnot was the player to watch out for last game. He popped off on the Mordekaiser, so perhaps he's
Even got the Penta.
exactly. Perhaps his Darius is just as good. We'll have to see.
I mean, I think for me, the oddest thing is, yeah, it's also the fact that Kaz is quite high elo. So, yeah, just definitely Slipknot playing very, very well. And I don't think it was just a matchup. Mordekaiser Gangplank doesn't feel like it should be hard losing for Gangplank, especially with oranges.
But nonetheless, Caster's Curse will be going for the MLG win, or are we going to go to game 3 for the Auto Shadows for this current draft?
I'm nervous about this Ivan pick. I just feel like it's again feeling slightly like, I just think the top jungle picks right now are too strong to not pick, and if you're not picking them, you're gonna have a hard time. And we
Yeah.
saw that in game 1. The bot lane didn't get to play because of the dives coming in from the Volibear, sending off turrets, and just getting out farmed. I mean, Scorch was actually out farming the Volibear, but the Volibear was just providing so much else to the team that the puppy was not quite bringing to the table.
Something else to be concerned
yeah.
about is that I feel like you have to sit the Tristana in this game. Like, Tristana wants to get ahead because you need an Ivan to have a character to play around. Darius does not really fit into that role. You can't exactly play Ivan Darius that well. So, but at the same time, it's a situation where what happens if you sit bottom and Darius starts losing top lane, because it's a bit of a tricky one in my opinion for the Order of the Shadow draft at least. I feel like perhaps a more of a weak side top laner would have been better in this case, but we'll have to see whether the Darius can do what Darius does best, and that is snowball and 1v5. So yeah, best of luck to that side.
Yeah, and I mean, he almost did that in the previous game, so it's a champ that we want to see this insane popping off on. But we'll see you guys in just a sec as we head in game.
Right, that was a quick load. I'm happy. I like it. Let's do this.
Yeah, super excited for game number 2 of this series, as we do see some potential shenanigans coming out here with yeah, the MLGC team heading for something sneaky in the bot lane. Actually, the opposing red side also got a little bit grouped up here on the blue buff. There's a
Okay, so
ward
5
in the
man.
river there.
They don't have the
Shouldn't be able to
greatest
spot
of invades. I
anything.
guess the roll is actually the main focus. I take that back. Roll pretty strong. Makes up for the lack of anything really else the team has going for them, but just under. Lobot. So Tyson's after to go for the Guardian Alistair. That's something. I think you generally see more phase rush or aftershock Alistair, so the Guardian's a bit of an interesting one, perhaps just particularly for this matchup. But we'll see if it works.
Yeah, I think it's maybe just kind of they're putting all their eggs in the Defenders Tristana basket and just hoping that Flowbot can carry super hard with enough support in the form of the Ivan and the Alistar. Worst case scenario, to be honest, is like support the Darius if Flowbot is not having a great game.
So generally with the Ivan, you see they like to walk in sort of like Q over, steal away the buff, do something like jungle farming in the opposite side. But looks like we have the stock standard, perhaps actually like a parallel. Well, I'm just kind of interested to see what the Ivan's pathing is this game, because Ivan's very, very unique playstyle. So, I mean, hopefully he's got enough games on it to know how to take advantage of the pick, but nonetheless it is heading towards the top side. Instead, going straight to his red, I believe. No chickens. Chickens are the play.
Yeah, Rapt is where he's headed. So he's just kind of setting up all the camps as he goes. Slipknot doing some damage. Going pretty even here with the Gnar. So I think the interesting thing with this top matchup is actually the fact that it's all about the Gnar timings. If Gnar goes mega at the wrong time in a matchup, it's actually really difficult because you want to abuse the fact that you have this range advantage in mini form. Yeah.
Alright, so Hecarim Gnar chickens. I'm quite interested to see what happens with these scuttles, because first game we had a double scuttle secure for, I believe, Zen after the Poppy. Kind of attempted it at gank top lane, it did not work out as Tycene and Original kind of a little bit close to each other actually, kind of just touching. But not really looking for the engages. Tycene now looking for the punish. Actually beautifully popped into the turret. Forced to burn the flash plus the heal. This may actually just be the first blood. It will be Tristana finding that first kill. As Tycene should trade over. Swifty able to neutralize, but the chase continues. Flowbot, unfortunately not going to really get more, but interesting.
Yeah, that was also 4 summoners for 2 summoners burned, so you're relatively happy if you are on the side of Order of Shadows in that outcome. I think that went really well. That was over aggressive by Ral. I was cringing. I was like, that is definitely a headbutt combo into the tower. Swifty, oh no, the Hecarim says this isn't a 1v2.
Oh, that's painful.
And picks up Lobot. Meanwhile, mid lane, another 1v2 happening.
Inspector looking for the damage they should have, and they do. Scorch finding himself kill number 1. Or the Shadow,
yeah,
2-2.
definitely showing up.
Oh no. Darius.
Trades in the top lane, action everywhere. Oh,
And bleed. Okay, so blue side TP is going to be Victor looking to try join in the fight, looking to join in the fun. Unfortunately, nothing more coming through from us. He does end up burning the summoner TP that it may not have decided to use if it weren't for that interaction, but I mean, it's 0.1k gold favoring Order of the Shadow.
Ivan's top side.
Oh,
Nope. Absolutely denied. Not very aware of that potential gank coming in. And yeah, really well played from him.
something else to notice is that Darius has opted for Ghost. He does not have teleport in a 5s competitive game, which is going to make it a little bit interesting when it comes to the macro. So, luckily enough, mid lane Victor does... Sorry, actually, no, I lie. That's the wrong side. So, Kaz and Victor both have TP versus the Ignite and Ghost. To be fair, it is a Zoe, so potential for that TP is there. But in terms of the late game macro, it's going to definitely favor the MLG side, just for the fact that they have that cross-map potential, as well as the pressure that it creates having those available.
Yeah, agreed. I think meta, I mean, we saw that from MLGC in game number 1, just outplaying in the macro game quite a lot as we got into the later stages here. And we do see freezes on both the top side and the bot
Grabs
side.
him out of his jump.
Beautiful
That's
grab.
not good. Not pop with the Ghost. He's looking to do the
Ghost
damage, but the
used.
Mega Gnar is going to come through soon. If he can. Oh, just able to find that 1v1, that lost auto enough, as we do have the solo top lane kill.
Yeah. again, that's exactly who we want to see the kill on. This is the win condition on the side of Order of Shadow. At least one of them. It's either the Darius or the Tristana that you really want to see get ahead and be supported by this Ivan and Alistar combo. It's like a freeze now starting by Swifty and Original.
Yeah, he's looking for the reset. I'm not too sure what he's looking to buy. But he does head back home, gets himself 2 pink cords, making his way back towards the bot side as we do have the brush control. Original looking for that Hex Flash engage, and he does actually find the Chain CC Flowbot. A lot of damage, but unfortunately just not going to find that dive. Hecarim still 6 means he has no more friends, no more horses to join him for that onslaught. So the shadows still still unavailable.
Yeah, and I think so. The idea with that back timer there is everyone's setting up for Dragon now.
Yeah,
that is the objective. Everyone is definitely up for. This is not the fight Alistair and Ivan want to take though, as that Tristana is back in base.
Blue buff available for Zoe. Sly now walking his way through. You should be able to pick it up. But,
yeah, hopefully gonna be there on time.
It is
more than on time.
Drake.
Doesn't seem like anyone is too nervous to take that. They're just more playing around it. Bot lane does some trading.
Still anybody's game. No real discrepancies. Meanwhile, top lane.
Nothing too crazy.
Interesting for Ivan to be coming through topside here though, because this means that bot lane is available to rotate onto Drake if he does show, taking a little bit of a risk, but at the same time now Hecarim as well making his way towards the top side, so he shouldn't. Oh wait, hang on, Nas spotting him out with the backwards boomerang. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It does reveal
I don't know
right?
if he actually saw him though.
Yeah, I don't think he noticed it though. Oh, the face check. The Q comes through. He has Daisy as well. Red side slide. Not finding that sleep, unfortunately, but the grab will be there, forcing the flash of the Kaz. Daisy doing what Daisy does best.
Yeah, the Zoe just flashed there. Not sure what it happens.
It is a Zoe though. It's not too serious. Unfortunately, not really running spellbook, so it means she doesn't really have those summoner options. Oh. Hecarim, the ghost, popped.
What's all?
Onslaught that we spoke about earlier, the pushback is going to be there, not forced towards the turret. As the dunk attempt stopped midair, so that's going to be that successful gank for Hecarim. I know.
Oh.
Slice.
I really want this now.
Flashes, we do have a 5 bot lane as well. Nice deep play so far. Flowbot dropped pretty low. He is pushed back. The timing on that impact. Kaz, Order of the Shadow. A little bit of a late undying, but unfortunately not gonna have enough damage, so we'll end up backing out. The chains are unbroken.
Wow. That was looking really good for this side of MLGC in the white lane there. This Samara Ral combo is really strong.
Okay, bot lane. The dunk's gonna be there, but the dive is successful. Original drop on aggro. They do find that cheeky dive. No room for Flowbot to work out his way out of that one. So, I mean, this is what we were discussing earlier, where you kind of have to play for Darius as well as bot lane in this case. Like, they don't really have a weak side with the current draft, which is the issue. So, like, Ivan's having an issue of trying to be top and bottom at the same time, and Swifty plus Original playing super aggressive, super strong, dominating and laning phase champs means they have that potential for the dive if they know it is safe to do so.
That's an interesting item to see on Zoe. Yeah, new active items are, actually super cool to see. And just making sure the Herald isn't being picked up.
Nobody making any moves for the Drake yet, so. Oh, oh, we can't say that word. That's illegal. That's Twitch TOS. Shrimp nut. Oh, close to the sleep.
Wow. Very, very close. We actually do get someone finally deciding, hey, yeah, well, we'll take a free win soul. Happy to take that. Bot gank? No, let's push.
Dragon picked up. 10 minutes in. It's gonna be the club. Traded over the Rift to vault our objective. Hopefully we see some good value coming out as we do have an attempt at the steal, the sleep. Very close, actually.
Yeah, that was looking so close.
Oh,
As we
no.
do see, looks like a dive on the top side here. 3-man, Darius 1v3.
I mean,
Samira realizing there's a dive bot lane and
if
stepping away, but
there
if he gets
was
this, it's
a
good.
champion to be dove on, it would be Darius. I'm waiting for the outplay. Does he have the moves? You can see the back and forth, the left, right, the WASD finds first Q a little bit early. The grab and onslaught of shadows into the chain CC. It's going to be a lot of CC pump through as the pushback, not going to find the stun, but the fade away. Kaz with boss out of the map. Flowbot taking that final turret shot means the shutdown will be there as multiple members dead. And the turret top lane should drop as we do have Sly here for the cleanup. Goodbye, Kaz. Third death of the game, only in 11 minutes. Nar Ghana.
Yeah, and that was actually ended up being a 2-for-2 after the Zoe picked up that last one. Beautiful to see. Yeah, I think I praised Samira for being aware and pushing away, but then for some reason she went back.
Right, so first item now picked up for Zoe. That's going to be a lot of damage available as Shrimp not able to find himself a red buff as he makes his way back towards topside. So, I mean, I was kind of hoping for the Darius 1v3 dunk, like, outplay, but not given the opportunity. There was just way too much CC between Aral, Ikram, and Nar all popping off. Making sure that
they were
Darius just...
playing basketball with
Actually?
that basketball-themed Darius not having a great time with that dive in the top side.
No longer the dunk master.
Dunk Master getting dunked. Feels bad, man. Yeah,
take a look
and
at that
across the
again.
board, we do see items coming out as well here. Moonstone Renew completed on Ivan, as well as Ludin's Tempest for the side of Zoe. Really happy to be picking up those items. Yeah.
They actually layered the
I don't-
CC incredibly well. There was no overlapping like chain. I'm quite impressed with that dive. Nicely played, MLG.
Yeah, beautifully done. Just great to see.
Oh.
Ooh, bot lane.
Wrong
place
gonna be
to
hacked
be.
up the counter though. Does pop the ghost, pops the onslaught, the blue side TP does come through. It's gonna be just on a dead already as Ornn. Not Ornn, sorry, Alistair as well as Ivan forced to disengage, but they do get the Kaz TP down, which means they need to trade because top lane the plates are gonna be in favor of Shrimp, but it seems like there's only 10 seconds left on the play, so they're actually not gonna get too much value out of it, but they should be able to find themselves that first turret, and it's gonna be MLG with the pickup.
Yeah, and it just feels like MLG is playing really well on the bot side, and really Order of Shadows struggling every single time. Flowbot not having a good game. 2 games
So
in a
far, at
row.
least.
Struggled a little bit on the Kai'Sa.
Oh, re-engage the overstep. They try to cancel the backs and they get caught for it. The Swifty punish. He's a little bit low doing the best he can. Try to kite this one through, but he has numbers, he has friends, and that's going to be the double into the triple. No quadra though, that was just first game.
Yeah. So we pan up here to the top lane. The win condition is on the wrong side of the map for that fight.
You gotta be careful. You face checking Nara, suddenly he's mega. He's in the brush. And your team gets caught for it and you give over Samira a triple. Because that right there is basically Swifty back in the game. Not that he was particularly out of it, but like that's him in a position now to carry. It's Swifty's game to throw. And he showed us first game that he is very confident at doing exactly that. But meanwhile, top lane, we do have a bit of a Nara face check. But it doesn't really matter, it seems. Able to get the jump off. No cancel on that one.
Yeah, Darius doesn't have quite the burst to finish that off as quickly as possible. So I think the interesting thing is that all you have to do if you are Flowbot and Tyson is survive laning phase, because the problem with Samira is she doesn't deal well with CC and she has very low range, which is 2 things that the opposing side have really well. Like they have a lot of CC in the form of the Alistair and the Zoe and the Ivan. Like everyone has some form of CC and also just like the range that Tristana gets in the later stages makes it really difficult for Samira to actually make plays. But if she's 6, 1, and 3, it doesn't matter, as we do get the dragon secured there for the side of MLGC.
So I'm just waiting for the Victor to start to come online. He's got one item, he's got the stopwatch in the inventory as well. But with time, that champions have become more... Oh no, the face check, the popcorn is there. Ooh, Tycene a little bit trigger happy on that R click. And Chains cooldown now taken away. Unfortunately, we won't have it for the next fight, as we do have the mid lane siege continuing. Sliding the best he can to try clear wave. Zoe, not the greatest at clearing wave under pressure.
Another tower. Looks like it's getting super low. It's 50 and the Hecarim. Oh no! Wrong side.
Oh, onslaught. This engage does end up popping a locket. Probably not necessary, but the thought they can't. So Ivan topside jungle looking to try to catch out the Gnar and potentially find themselves that first tower top lane. It's going to be the tier 1, but Rift, another object. Did we see the Rift come through? It was bottom, right? At first Rift?
Yes, it was. I don't no, it was top. No, it was top side on the dive on Simp, actually.
Oh.
Or Shrimp.
Shrimp nuts. Oh, Lee looking on our join. It's going to be that teleport yet again. It's going to be Inspector here to catch out Darius. The cage is placed, but does not find anyone with the Qs. The 5-man rotation. MLG just don't have any issues to bring in the whole Avengers squad top. I mean, that was something. They're playing for the Rift. They're playing for the top side. So you overextend and we will assemble.
Yeah, it just feels like what we talked about in game number 1. MLGC is just so on the ball with this macro. The rotates are there. I mean, they got a free mid tower that was traded for nothing. And yeah, they're just rotating perfectly while Zoe hasn't gotten much done in the bot side. Meanwhile, a death for the opposing side.
Okay, so, I mean, that's Rift. That's Shelly number 2. It's going to be Hecarim holding it.
Omen. Man, this poor Zoe has not been getting any nice items. I'm just thinking, like, what's the way into this? You talk about Ivan needing a carry to play around. Currently, he does not have a carry to play around.
Yep.
Zoe is not the carry you want to play around.
The risk you take when you draft the Ivan, you need a very
a lot of faith,
strong win condition when you pick that champion. You need to know exactly what you're looking to do and try to strive towards that condition for the win. So in this case, I mean, Sly not playing too badly, but at the same time not really finding too much success with these attempts at like roams. So hopefully we do start to see a little bit more from Sly and these one shots. The potential is there with the items not being picked up. Finds that blue, but this is for sure MLG game to throw.
Yeah, they're looking very, very strong right now. That Hecarim performing really well online. Across the board, I just feel like the biggest problem is just the fact that Samira has gone so far ahead, and the Darius just hasn't gotten much to show.
So pretty surprised at how long that tier 1 turret is lasting top lane. I feel like it's been kind of just chilling there for a while now, and casting the best he can to try and clear a wave, but we do have Baron spawning in the next few seconds, so we do have top lane attempt come through. Looks like Darcy will get that free entrance, but it seems there's going to be a counter as Zen is here for the 2v2. The brawler started Simp, not Shrimp, not Kaz, flashed, not going to find the root, but the Simp not getting the health back thanks to Scorch. That Moonstone coming through clean as Darius was able to find the double. I mean, the shutdown is there. We said he needs a win condition, and maybe Darius is starting to step up.
Yeah, well played. Absolutely great. And that's just the Gnar and Hecarim not respecting the fact that this is a stronger 2v2, and just the amount of healing that we're seeing between the Moonstone Renewer and that the Darius Q is just, wow, so much.
I mean, just when you thought they're out of it, they're back. Darius saying, no. I want this victory. I want to get to game number 3, and I want to look to try carry the team. So Order of the Shadow, we're watching Mr. Top Lane Darius.
Yeah. Oh, he just never seems to. He keeps surprising and performs so well. It's beautiful to see. We saw it on the Mordekaiser, and we're seeing it again on the Darius pick here. Dragon is up. I don't think you want to contest this. You're still a little bit too far behind, and you need a few more levels on this Tristana before you want to take a fight. This is only the 3rd dragon of the game, so not too urgent.
Good night, Scuttle. Scuttle picked up. It's going to be blue side. Yep. Dragon number 3, this is not, well, technically dragon number 2 for either side, but this is like, it's not a big objective. You can let this go, you don't have to force if you cannot guarantee the fight victory, and in this case you cannot bring Darius down, so you do not have the numbers. He has Ghost, he has no TP, he cannot join, and as a result it's going to be picked off. Unfortunately, they did not even look for the contest, but they overstayed, and MLG saw that opportunity and they took it. They find the pick.
Yeah, that was just Scorch getting caught, and then he flashed over a wall into more people, so yeah, happens.
That's team communication though, because you should be aware of the fact that Darius cannot be there. It should be communicated, and you should not even look to rotate down. Losing the Drake is fine, but losing the Drake into the fight, into the siege for MLG is not good, because now it's sort of a snowball effect as they just aren't able to find the damage to take out Hecarim with that sleep, forcing the onslaught out. So the Shally does end up dropping, just finding the tier 2. But overall, really, really good for MLG in stepping towards that victory. I mean, we just had Order of the Shadow pulling it back to top lane into that slight throw, and it's a snowball.
Yeah, I just feel like MLG is just so on ball with the macro calls. And yeah, I feel like it's not even the first game. We saw this in game number 1, where also, did Mordekaiser have TP that game? I'm not sure, but I feel like he was also across the map a lot of times when there was major objectives being picked up.
That was actually a really, really good engage by Cass. You saw he was confident, he was aware, he jumped in, he got the bounce, and he got the engage with the Meganar.
Yeah, and a slight misplay from the Ivan there, just not sure where he was going. Maybe I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that contest. Just clear out waves and like call it a day. You already have 1 dragon, so they're not going to be able to get it too quickly.
Oh.
Interesting trades here in the top side jungle.
Ivan.
Yeah. They just want to play macro. These 3 guys just want to stay with each other.
So I'm kind of surprised at how little Grievous we have on either side, actually.
Especially, I mean, we really need.
It's Samira, but that mean Samira Hecarim versus Darius Ivan. So both teams having some decent heals. More so, I guess, the Order of the Shadow team. So kind of not having that Grievous is it's kind of grieving, actually. It's a bit of a unlucky one. They just got to pay the tax. Spend the 800. Darius, he has speed, he's got dead vans, but he looks to try and face check the 5 as we do have bot lane. What are they doing right now? Ivan and Alistair.
Is there even a dragon now?
No, there's no dragon. What are they doing in the pit?
I don't know.
People are taking
but this
Scuttle.
is a dangerously low.
Oh, the steal attempt. Okay, close. Sly, almost looking for the clutch. Kind of confused. What were they actually doing there? I feel like they're getting vision, but
it was vision. You can actually see 3 wards drop there on the dragon side. Yeah, dragon spawns in 1 minute 30. It's a little bit soon, and honestly, the members of MLGC is so low. Like, you have the Darius, who is for the ones on the right side of the map for that fight. I think it's an opportunity that you could have taken. And as you mentioned, Grievous, we do get the Bramble Vest picked up by Na, as well as Execution is calling. So definitely have some people listening in on chat. JK, we wish.
I highly doubt that, but
yeah.
So
no, I'm joking.
Like you mentioned, Dragon spawning the next minute. So we do hopefully see Darius rotating down for this one. We can have Kaz in the top lane looking for the split because he has teleport available. So Darius on the other hand running the ghost means he's playing for lane. He cannot afford to not rotate down for this objective if Order the Shadow want to contest. We're still in a position where they can let it go. It's 2 Drakes, it's not important. So decide beforehand though, because if Darius doesn't rotate and your team walks in again, gets caught off, that is not going to be a good spot for Order the Shadow. They play for the back foot.
Yeah, and again, they're just getting completely outmacroed. Darius going topside to catch the wave right now is not the response you want to see if you want to contest for this dragon. And vision is so hard to get. I feel like they keep getting outmacroed and outvisioned across the board here.
It happens. I mean,
surely someone's gonna die to the face shot.
That's something Order the Shadow for sure can look to try and work on. I mean, this is a learning opportunity. They can clearly identify what they have issues with, but the engage is going to be there as they do know Darius' top lane. Tyson a little bit late on that, undying. The chains are just not going to be enough. He does end up dropping as the original attempt. Baby Cage finding the one. Deleted Inspector finally online, now finding himself that second kill. He has the Zonias, he has the Ludens, and he's got the damage for the double as mid lane siege continuing. The Baron team push through. You cannot afford to lose a fight versus a team that has Baron.
Yeah, and that was again, I just feel like that was a bad call. You can't go topside right now. You are CS up ahead and you are up in XP surely as well.
Nope.
Why leave?
Okay, so they get the inhibitor. They're gonna fall back down to Dragon, which Hecarim is already soloing. So that's a really, really big win for MLG. So we said before that this is the 3rd Drake for MLG, so it's not a massive win condition. You can let it go if you need to, if you're not in a position to contest. In this case, they weren't. MLG had complete priority. They had vision control. So walking in versus a comp that involves a Hecarim, Gnar, and Rel is just going to be an awful idea. That's assuming you have 5 players. In this case, they did not. Darius was still rotating back down. So, I mean, it's just not worth the risk. Let it go. Play for the waves, play for the CS, and try to just get the items that you need. And unfortunately, Order the Shadow for the 2nd time now, kind of getting caught off and punished. So, I mean, MLG in a really, really good spot.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like they got caught trying to face check. They just straight up died in mid lane because they just don't have the vision control that they need to see this coming.
You just need to be aware, or it needs to be communicated by the team that Darius is not there. And if Darius shows, MLG know it's safe to engage. They have numbers.
Ooh, looks like a top pick. They're looking for it.
Shrimp not.
He's aware. He knows something's up. Can't see the whole team as the vision goes down.
So the mid inhibitor is
Yeah,
down.
so Baron's 2 minutes away, which means this is looking for picks.
Tier 2 turret is not a safe
no,
haven. You've
no,
got to be
no.
careful because they will dive you. But here we go. Sly finds himself that cheeky sleep. Looking for the damage. The zone is going to be there. Unfortunately, Ivan not able to get to the team means they do not have that extra tankiness. They cannot play through that Darius that we saw in that previous fight a couple of minutes ago. But again, the sleep is going to be there. Unfortunately, Sly is finding sleeps, but he's not finding the damage to follow through as Ivan now forced the zone off. I mentioned before, tier 2 turret is not a safe haven. You cannot try to defend. Let it go. Frozen. Let it go. You do not defend this turret. You rather play for the base. You play for the turtle. As you, I mean, MLG have such a strong diving comp. They have that Hecarim. They've got the Onslaught of Shadows. They've got the Chain CC. So if you try to defend this turret, you most likely will end up getting picked off and dove. So you're running the risk.
Oh, that was an interesting sleep.
Oh, unstoppable. There
Dive
it is.
coming in.
Okay, perfect case scenario. Flowbot able to negate the initial engage of the sleep yet again. Sly finding chain after chain of these sleeps as tier 2 does end up dropping, but Daisy looking kind of okay for the zone, but unfortunately yet again, Kaz just not finding the engage that he needs. Big damage though.
Beautiful damage. Oh man, Sly showing up compared to how he was looking in that game 1.
There it is, the dive. Second attempt, you made it out the first time, but Flowbot not going to be as lucky this time. It's going to be Zen finding him the kill, but it's the shutdown for Darius. Shrimp not looking to do some work. The flash is going to be there, but the chain CC, does he have the damage? The CC? No, he doesn't. He's out of here. It's going to be Darius now down. That's majority of the damage from Order the Shadow gone as the siege does continues. Yeah.
Oh no, and the Zoe just barely got outplayed there by the Gnar. Disaster for Order of Shadows here. Just, I feel like this Darius just got counted by CC, to be honest. The poor man.
And Grievous. They've got some Grievous, which is good.
Definitely agree. Grievous picked up by both teams near the end of this one. And two supports versus the world. Not going to have a great time as we see MLG close this series out 2-0.
GG, well played. I mean, what did the Shadow were looking kind of okay? They had a rough start. They pulled it back slightly, but it just came down to that macro, not knowing where they should and where they can't be. Results in them getting caught off a couple of times, and MLG just able to pull it off the back of that macro. So GG, well played to both sides.
Yeah, very well played.
What are we thinking? MVP, dude?
Ooh. Probably Samira?
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah. It's either that or Ral, to be honest. Like, I feel like it's one of the bot laners. I just feel like MLGC's bot lane really outperformed every single game. It was either like the first game was even worse with that Seraphine just not having a great game, just getting absolutely caught out. And yeah, I feel like partially a lot of that is also just due to the vision. You know, like if you can clean up your vision game, you probably stand a chance of winning some of these games a little bit better. And yeah, I'm sure we're gonna have someone in for the post game as well.
So taking a quick look at the match
you want to see
stats.
if we can?
I mean, honestly, like it didn't feel like any play in particular was hard carrying this game. I felt like it was much more of a macro team game, but for sure Swifty really good, able to find himself some of these kills in the team fights, doing exactly what Samira does, and that's destroy people in team fights. But nonetheless, Sly, we saw him attempt at some good like damage. He got a couple of Qs towards the late stages, but unfortunately just not getting any of those one shots that we needed for the Shadow to pull the game back. So nonetheless, the series done and dusted, 2-0. And are we going with Swifty for the MVP?
Yes, we are.
Okay, congrats to him.
Yeah, I think he just played very well. The quadra kill out in game number 1 was looking so good, and yeah, just beautiful to see. Honestly, game 2 also still staying relevant, getting ahead early game. It was exactly what we wanted to see. Yeah, just beautifully played across the board.
So just look at the damage
definitely agree with you.
I mean,
That
Nara
it was
and
a
Zoe,
macro.
both incredibly strong, it seems. The damage shots kind of surprising. I guess Nara just chipping away at the Darius and the sustain, allowing to build up. Plus, he had some really good engages. So definitely honorable mention to the top lane. Nara Kaz playing incredibly well in both games. But we'll bring in through Swifty for the post game. I believe 80 carry from the side of MLGC.
Welcome to live, Swifty.
Yeah, how's it?
Hey, welcome, dude. Congrats on the series victory.
Can you hear me?
Expectations going into the series. Did you see it being a 2-0? Did you have anything in mind? What was the overall team like? Vibe,
I think we were pretty confident going into the series. I mean, just looking at the group, they are bottom, so I think we're quite confident. We wanted to try out some new picks. We tried out the Gnar, which is the first time we played a top lane.
Okay.
And yeah, I think we played out especially team fights quite well. First game was quite good as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and I think Sheepy and I both mentioned earlier that just like across the board, you guys are performing very well in terms of macro. You have the vision out there. You're setting up for objectives. You're making it very hard for the opposing team. They have to walk in blind. The Seraphine getting caught time and time again.
Yeah.
It's just very well played.
Yeah, for sure. I also think our Samira pick was actually quite good because it countered the Seraphine ulti and a lot of their team comp, and even the second game into Tristana. I feel like Samira is quite a hard counter to Tristana, so I feel like they slept on it quite a bit.
But yeah, very surprised that they made
even
both games.
Yeah, also the Ral I think was a very good pick.
Yeah, agreed.
It negated all of Ivan's shield second game and made him quite useless. So
the Darius was having a hard time with all of that CC coming out. Just yeah, across the board, I feel like your bot lane was very well, just performing insanely well. The champions you were on were just set up to succeed, and I feel like it's an interesting one because there were definitely other potential ADC picks as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure we had Senna open. as well as the Jinx, which is other picks that I think Samira doesn't fare quite as well into.
Yeah, I mean, in the second game, we were considering playing the fasting center bot lane, but as soon as they picked Trist Alistar, I mean, we just decided to go toe-to-toe with the engaged bot lane. So with that, along with the Hecarim jungle, I mean, it's just kind of impossible for them to play the game.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think that you guys were absolutely playing a beautiful 3-man with the jungler and bot lane just on point constantly with the dives in game 1 as well as in game 2. The map rotations, the objectives pick up, heading up for the Heralds. It was looking very, very clean.
Yeah, I think our macro was one of our biggest ups this series, especially the second game. I mean, like you guys said, there was no real carry in the second game. It was the team playing as one, and I think that's what we've been working on a lot through scrims and all that, and it's actually coming together, which is nice to see.
Definitely,
really nice.
See the progress. So you guys just gonna keep it up. Speaking of which, how do you guys feel like you're playing now, like week 6 compared to week 1? Do you feel like you guys are making good improvements? Are you making strides in the right direction, or are you still struggling to gel as a team overall?
I think we have a good team bond. The first week I was playing mid lane, so we came to a conclusion where myself and Inspector swapped, and I think it's working out quite well. And like, we have such a good team vibe, and I think it's really showing, especially now week 6. We have big 3 big games coming up, so I think with our team synergy coming along, I think it will be a bit difficult, but maybe we can pull 1 or 2 things off against the big teams.
Yeah, that's really exciting to hear. I think those big 3 are probably the big 5, Instinct and Era Lost Time.
The big 3, the big
5. We have big 5, Instinct, and DSG.
Okay, so I mean, I think realistically, I think DSG probably the best bet to take a victory, and then
for sure. I think that's one we're looking to make it out of groups with. I think if we beat DSG, we have a very good chance. So.
Yeah, 100% agreed. You guys are so close to making it out, and it'll be great to see. Just some more competition and see you guys represent in the next stage of the championship. No pressure to make it there, but
yeah, as well as DSG looking pretty good. So I mean, congrats again on the victory, and
thanks guys, appreciate it.
Any last shout outs for anyone that maybe came through to support you today?
Shout out first of all the team. And my brother is watching right now as well.
Very cool.
And a few of my mates as well. So shout out to them and our coach. Shout out to Nat.
I feel like Nat's coaching multiple teams at this point. I feel like we keep getting shout outs to Nat, and I don't know what this is. But nonetheless.
Nat's the homie, guys. Come on.
Not once everyone's win.
There's even a Knot in the game. We've got Shrimp Knot playing Darius and whatnot, so he's just kind of everybody's taken over. But nonetheless, thanks for coming through for the post game, and good luck with your series versus DSG and Big 5.
Yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate the interview. Thanks.
Cool.
Cheers, dude. Cheers.
Right, tankers. I mean, series done and dusted, 2-0. I feel like it definitely could have been closer. It's going to come down to, I guess, Order of the Shadow kind of just working on their macro and communication. By no means are they a bad team. Just a couple of things to work on going forward, so see this as an opportunity to potentially identify those weaknesses and perhaps focus down on those, because that's what it's all about in terms of improvement. So hopefully they do treat it as a learning experience.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like in terms of mechanics, they were definitely there. We saw beautiful plays by the Mordekaiser that just across the board, great things to see. And like, definitely think just macros are room to improve, getting that vision, like being in the dragon pit when they're taking Baron.
The objective, the win condition, just making sure that you're on the same page, 100%.
Exactly. And other than that, I think more meta junglers is the only other thing I could potentially give advice on. But I think they performed really well, and it was a great series to watch.
100%. Otherwise, that's going to be it from my side. Anchors, thank you for coming through for the cast. I almost said post game, right? But but it's been an absolute pleasure. We're back. I Thursday, 8 p.m. Don't really recall which series.
Week 7.
Yeah, week 7 of 9.
Yeah, but we are getting very, very close to the end here. So stakes are high, as you just heard from Swifty, who joined us for this one, he's got some games that him and the team has got some games to play if they want to make it into the next stage. So for those of you that don't know, we have group stages which finishes in week 9. We're currently in week 6, and yeah, once that's done, I think top 4 teams from both teams are going to face off in a knockout bracket
That's gonna be
style.
good, though. That's gonna be very hype.
Very, very exciting stuff. We're going to have a lot of games, I believe, over the course of a weekend.
Yeah, action packed.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a training weekend, that's for sure, but it'll be good. It'll be good fun. I'm looking forward to it. It always is a great time. So, nonetheless, I think that's gonna be it for us for tonight for the Mercedes-Benz ATK League of Legends Champion Series cast. And yeah, we'll see you guys back at it at Thursday, 8 p.m. Good night.
Like a bass guitar, simmer down and mess me up. Tripping like I'm Jimmy at Woodstock. Drive me around in your red Ford. Shivers down my spinal cord. Cause you got me holding.
Not going to be too much, just giving Mordekaiser some breathing room to pick up that.
Oh,
Yes. Oh
Volley
no.
in the jungle, lightning from above. Scorch first to flash, but volley is on his tail. It's gonna come through for the nom nom. The chomp is there. It's gonna be the first blood for topside is Simpnot and Kaz. We're gonna try and fight this one out as well. Oh no. Mordekaiser still level 5, means that Kaz has a slight advantage, but Poppy here finally looking for the opportunity as mid lane. We do have an attempt. Beautiful baby cage does come through, so the pop should be there. It's gonna be the solo mid lane kill. Tycene finds himself kill number 1 and the snowball.
More action in the bot lane, but we haven't gotten that.
Oh,
Talking about action.
is that the engage?
Original SK looking for
Okay.
an engage there. Ooh, does find Seraphine.
Very nice. They find them what the 2v2, I guess, or 2v1. They react with flash or even exhaust. As top lane, we do have Kaz taking himself out of the shadow realm, making it actually. I don't know if that was the correct play. He's made it a 2v1. I think he was better off trying to take the 1v1. He will not be able to take someone to the void, but Simpnot just may actually go down himself. Poppy doing the best that he can, but unfortunately it looks like Zen finding himself kill number 2. The volley bearer is online as original versus Scorch, but it's going to be inspected for the baby cage attempt, but finds nothing but minions. And MLG finding themselves the double. You cannot engage. This is not a fun matchup for Samira. I mean, sorry, for Seraphine for exactly that reason right there. She has a one-click dodge and basically just denies your entire kit being on top lane. Simpnot do the best he can, does bring to the shield as Kaz. The mallet is there into the flash auto. He finds that solo 1v1. The map is Zen finding that first kill on the Slayer. Swifty able to go down. The shutdown's there for Simpnot in the top. It's a bot lane rotation. Mallet v Lightning pause, but the pun yet again. Gangplank is joining as well, but unfortunately he can do some damage. He's got the Essence Reaver secured, so pretty big power spike.
Yeah. Although the gold is only like 2,000 different, 4,000, it feels like a lot more.
Wait, that's kind of interesting.
Oh no.
That's kind of interesting.
Ulti?
Coming through as we do have Zen looking for the 1v3. I don't know if Original wants to join. There it is, the Magnet Storm, big CC chain. As Red Side TP looking to yet again try to join this fight, as we have already dropped 2 members, one from either side. Make that the double actually, as Swifty finds himself his next kill. Is going to be kill number 4. That is one fed Samira. Advantage, but it does work out nonetheless. Perhaps just concerned that he does flash away, as Ron creates a lot of pressure. Zed finally finding himself that first death, but it's going to be for 4 members. The Quadra Simpnot going so massive with the Mordekaiser, as unfortunately Original is not able to get his way out of this one. Quadra Simpnot going so massive with the Mordekaiser, as unfortunately Original is not able to get his way out of this one.
It looks like they want to give the Penta, but they're not going to be able to give. Oh, he does! Penta kill coming out.
The Baron as well. So you didn't know when you can and cannot go. In this case, it looks like the go button has been pulled. The unstoppable into that turret turn off. Swifty finding the sly kill, as unfortunately not really going to work out for the Order of the Shadow side, but it will be a kill had, or 2 kills actually, both bot lane members dead. Order of the Shadow. Get this pick before they do have the dragon fight, because if they can kill Mordekaiser now, that is a lot of
and then
shadow damage. Simpnot, Red Side TV looking to try and make it a 5v1, as Simpnot just not able to find the damage with a floating bear. Sure.
I think
teeth. No, Kai's on the killer instinct. Looks for the damage, but he's going to be killed off instead. Swifty goes massive, but it looks like Zed is trying to do the much as he can in the backline as the Flash Ultimate Inspector. Not yet having the damage, the triple is there. Swifty has the damage, and that's going to be the Quadra. No Penta, unfortunately, for the punish. Actually beautifully popped into the turret, forced to burn the Flash plus the heal. This may actually just be the first blood. It will be Justana finding that first kill, as Tyson should trade over. Swifty able to neutralize, but the chase continues. Flowbot, unfortunately, not going to really get more, but
Outcome, I think that went really well. That was over aggressive by Rel. I was cringing. I was like, that is definitely a headbutt combo into the tower. Swifty, oh no. The Hackram says this isn't a 1v2.
oh, that's painful.
And picks up outplaying in the macro game quite a lot as we got into the later stages here. We do see freezes on both the top side and the bot
Grabs
side.
him out of his jump.
People
That's
grab.
not good. Not pop with the ghost. He's looking to do the
Ghost
damage, but the
used.
Mega Knight is going to come through soon. If he can. Oh, just able to find that 1v1. That lost auto enough as we do those summoner options. Oh. Hackram, the ghost popped.
Let's hold.
Onslaught that we spoke about earlier. The pushback is going to be the not forced towards the turret. As the dunk attempt stopped midair, so that's going to be that successful gank for Hackram. I know.
Side of MLGC in the white lane there. This Samara Rel combo is really strong.
Okay,
Alive?
top lane. The dunk's going to be there, but the dive is successful. Original drop on aggro. They do find that cheeky Darius. I'm waiting for the outplay. Does he have the moves? You can see the back and forth, the left, right, the WASD finds first Q a little bit early. The grab and onslaught of shadows into the chain CC. It's going to be a lot of CC pump through as the pushback not going to find the stun, but the fade away. Kaz with boss out of the map. Flowbot taking that final turret shot means the shutdown will be there as
Struggling every single time. Flowbot not having a good game. 2 games
So
in a
far, at
row.
least.
Struggled a little bit on the Kai side.
Oh, re-engage the overstep. They try to cancel the backs and they get caught for it. The Swifty punish. He's a little bit low doing the best he can. Try to kite this one through, but he has numbers, he has friends, and that's going to be the double into the triple. No Quadra though. That was just here for the 2v2. The brawler started some not Shrimp, not Kaz. Flashed, not going to find the root, but the Sip not getting the health back thanks to Scorch. That Moonstone coming through clean as Darius was able to find the double. I mean, the shutdown is there. We said he needs a objective. You can let this go. You don't have to force if you cannot guarantee the fight victory. And in this case, you cannot bring Darius down, so you do not have the numbers. He has Ghost, he has no TP, he cannot join. And as a result, it's going to be picked off. Unfortunately, they did not even look for the contest, but they overstayed. And MLG saw that opportunity and they took it. They find the pick.